Welcome back to the Intersint podcast. This is episode 35. And if you're listening to this in the morning, good morning. And watch out where you're driving. Watch out for that person merging over into the lane. Or if you're listening to this in the afternoon, hope you're enjoying your tea and crumpets, having a good time. Sit back, relaxing, listen to this podcast. Or if it's the afternoon, late afternoon, maybe you're sitting back by the fireplace enjoying a hard drink. But here we are. Friends together. You listen to us talk. This is the Intersint podcast.
What the actual fuck?
I am relating to the audience. I am being one with them. Hey, we care about you. Hey, Alexis, I like the haircut. See? Alexis knows I care.
Hi, Alexis. Okay, after listening to us, you do need a hard drink.
What? Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
No, not you. You as in the audience.
Yeah, whenever it's like, oh, how are they on topic number 800 and we're only like 10 minutes into this podcast? We can't keep things straight.
Not at all. But that's why we have fun.
Cue the SpongeBob fun song. Oh, yeah, you don't know much SpongeBob.
I know it. I was expecting you to go into it.
We talked about this before. Like, I know so much about old SpongeBob that sometimes I'll make references and you just give me a blank look. I was like, what are you talking about?
Half of the time it's, I know what you're referencing and I'm waiting for you to get into it.
Just doing all. This is why it's probably a good thing I can't do voices.
True.
Imagine if I can mimic like SpongeBob and Patrick.
I would never hear the end of it.
You would be like, all right, I can't talk to you for like a month because you just won't stop.
I mean, sometimes when you do get into it, you do a pretty good job.
See, I can do Squidward's laugh.
Do it. Now that you said it, you have to do it.
But I can't because I said it now, and now I'm thinking about it.
He's flaking on you, audience. He's flaking on you. He's such a liar.
No, I'm looking out for the audience. I'm looking at Bill. Hey, good nice shirt there. I like that new shirt you just got. See? Looking out for the audience. Whenever it comes down to the Intersint Awards and it's like, hey, who was your favorite host? Just remember who was looking out for you, Bill. Who said nice shirt? It was me.
Wow. You were mean.
Granted, it's been a while since we've communicated, so now we're like unleashing everything we've had pent up to each other.
This gives you a glimpse of how it was like when we were working together.
Pretty much, yeah. Especially when we had longer breaks and then we came back in to the office. It was just an all-out war to the point where people expected us to just go at each other like nonstop. So anytime it was like, even before the podcast, you were extremely sassy.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it didn't click. It's like, oh yeah, we have been. This is the first time talking in a few days. So, anyways. What's been going on with you?
I woke up. I woke up.
I woke up. Congrats.
Thank you. I have lived another day. No. I woke up, I opened my eyes to a song in my head. You know when you have, the feeling of waking up in the morning? Like, your brain turns on before your eyes open?
No.
You know that feeling, right?
No. What are you talking about?
Everything operates before you open your eyes, right? Like your brain starts functioning.
No, I don't know what you're on about.
I'm not stupid. Okay. You know when you first wake up in the morning, before anything else happens, your brain starts functioning to tell your eyes to open, right?
Okay, but you don't, it's all subconscious.
Yes, but you're aware that you're doing it.
No.
Yes.
No, I wake up and my eyes are just opening. I'm like...
Yeah, but you're aware that your eyes are opening.
No, it's just I open my eyes. I don't think about it.
Fine.
It's not like a boot sequence where it's like, all right, activate ears on. Smelling on, eyes open. Oh, okay.
Okay, not in that slow of a sequence, but you're aware that you're doing all that, right?
No.
Whatever. Okay. Before I even had a chance to open my eyes, everything was on for me. I was conscious. What?
Is this how we learn you're a robot this whole time?
Yes. I don't know how to explain it. Like, my brain was playing a song in my head before I even had a chance to be, like, fully aware of what was happening.
Okay.
Do you want to take a guess as to what the song is?
You are a jukebox. It could be literally any song in the world. It could range from, like, Death Clock to a Justin Bieber song.
You're not wrong, but the song that was playing was da 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 da.
The Beatles? Why?
I don't know.
See, I would have went with something like screamy or heavy. It's completely in left field. This is the Beatles.
Before I even was aware and awake.
Were you dreaming this?
I don't know. Like, my brain signal, like, my alarm went off, so I was like half conscious. Like, I knew what was going on, but I was asleep too. Like, I knew I was asleep, and it just started playing in my head, and I'm like, where the fuck did this even come from?
What a random song. A song you probably haven't heard in how many years?
I mean, there's animated movies that have that song.
Oh, is there?
From back when I was a kid, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. So has that been in your head all morning?
It finally went away.
Until now. Now you brought it up and now it's going to stay in your head.
Probably.
It's one of those things, too, that now that you said that tune, it's going to be stuck in my head for the rest of the day now. Until
Good,
I can get something
as
else.
It should.
We do this thing to each other where it's almost like musical terrorism to one another. Where if I just want to like get a song stuck in your head, I just sing like the first 5 notes and you're like, motherfucker, why did you do this?
Yes.
And that, you do the same thing to me all the time. You'll say like one line of a song, like, why? So now because you did that little melody, now it's going to be stuck in my head.
Good. You've been a menace this morning.
Have you ever been asleep and then someone around you played music, but then that song was incorporated into your dreams?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I had a dream once, and I can remember this so vividly, where I was at an amusement park walking around, and then on the speakers of the amusement park, instead of like that happy music, it was playing heavy metal. And I'm like, wow, that's interesting for an amusement park to be playing. And I wake up to my little brother playing heavy metal off of the computer. So somehow it bled into my brain and like fused with my dream of this song.
Wow.
I'm surprised this never happened to you.
No. I guess we're the type of people who like would wear headphones when listening to music like that.
But even like when you were younger or something, like your parents, did they blast music at all?
They did when they were cleaning.
See, something like that I could see.
But I was already awake at that time.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And they had the courtesy to wait until we were all awake to blast their music.
See, this is whenever my younger brother was a lot younger. So like we were still kids.
Mm.
So obviously when you're that young, you don't care about what everyone else is doing. But you had a story I've been waiting to hear for a while now.
Yes. So recently I was like, okay, my jeans are ripping. I need new ones. And so since there was like the Black Friday Christmas sales going on, I was like, okay, I'll just go online and find pairs that I like.
Oh yeah, because we couldn't find it in the stores.
Which I just found increasingly annoying because it's like I go to the store to try things on, not to go to the store and then forced to buy it online.
You try to push shopping for clothes online to me.
Yeah.
This is exactly why I don't do it, because I'm like, if it doesn't fit, then that's a whole process I have to go into to return this thing.
They do make it easy to like return things by mail though, like giving you everything. The only thing is like when I know that these stores have a storefront and that I should be able to go in there and find my size.
But considering it was during Black Friday and everyone is buying pants.
Yeah. So I kept one and I had to return 4.
Okay.
And I go up and like, I don't know what is up with, I don't know if these people were Gen Z or Gen Alpha, but they don't know how to do shit.
I don't think it's...
I don't know if it's like that or like just retail in general.
I think they just don't care. It's not their problem.
They should.
This is why when you and I have gone to Wendy's to get fries, we had to wait for our just single fries for 45 minutes? And that's the general fast food experience I've noticed around here.
I think it's also because they also push drive-through times a lot more than they do front counter times.
I've gone through the drive-through at Wendy's before.
Same thing.
And waited in line for an hour.
Jeez.
It was faster for me to just go down to like Olive Garden and order online and pick it up there to take it back home.
See, because like we used to have that too at Burger King when I used to work there, of like trying to make drive-through times better. But then it's also like you don't abandon the front counter.
I just think it's just like we're getting out here. They just don't care anymore, which I don't blame them.
I mean, yeah, but it's not like at the same time of like, where has that all gone? Because we would have gotten yelled at by our managers if we did that shit.
I think that's just where the changing of the generations. Because like our managers during that time would be Gen X.
True.
And so with them, it's always like, go. We need to make me money, blah, blah, blah. So us being like, oh, we need to be hard workers because that's what we were told that we were that.
Yeah.
And then Gen Z is like, what the fuck is up with all this hard work when it gets you nowhere? We're not even going to try. And then it's just bleeding down to Alpha where it's like, yeah, we don't care either.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. I don't know. It's just one of those things of just like, you have a certain expectation of how things are going to go, especially in retail. Like, you have to get some sort of service. And like, it's not like they were rude or anything. It's just like, they didn't know at all.
They just didn't know their job. Did we say what store this was?
Oh, yeah. No, we didn't. So this was Hollister.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Considering the people behind the counter, who the visualization is for them. But like, it's like, okay, so I bring my stuff up. It has nothing to do with like her customer service at all. Okay. She was sweet. She was nice. But I have 4 items, 4 separately different barcodes on the packaging. I have the receipt in my hand that has 4 separate barcodes.
Okay.
She proceeds to stand there all confused, scans my receipt, scans one of the items and goes, yeah, this isn't on there. I'm like, basically had to walk her through how to return something. No. Of like, this is the barcode here. You scan this. You take the barcode that matches and you scan this. And then you put it to the back because it's returned. But she was all confused because I had 2 separate receipts. So it's like, it's not that difficult. I get, okay, there's 2 separate receipts, but it's like, this is all matching. She calls her manager over. She's all confused because she doesn't know what's going on. And the girl who was helping me couldn't figure out how to explain it. And I'm like, so I had to do the whole rundown with her too, of like, here are my 2 receipts. Did you scan this one? So I like 2 went through successfully because I walked her through it. I had 2 physical paper receipts that she printed out and gave to me. I was like, this one is already done. That's already done. Just pointing to everything. So you can forget about these 2 things here. There's 2 more things that I need to return. And she's like staring blankly at all this. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to run this by you one more time. I didn't say that like out loud, but in my head I was just like, girl, come on.
Yeah.
You're a manager for a reason. She scans them. And apparently the machine is telling her that, like, this item has already been returned. Well, I already returned 2 items. And she's like, well, I'm going to return all this. She kept the items for my return. I got sent back home because they couldn't figure it out. And she's like, yeah, you could just go to customer service online and have them figure it out for you. And I'm like, I could just return this by mail.
Yeah.
I didn't have to come here. What the fuck? And so I was cheated out of 2 items for my return. And they kept it and didn't give me my money back.
So there is no getting that money back now?
There is now because I contacted customer service and explained everything.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good at least.
So I checked yesterday and like my refund did go through, but it was just that whole hassle of like, what the fuck? If you're going to be a manager and working front counter, at least know how to do your job.
What did we learn from this whole experience?
I won't stop buying online because it's simple, But I'm probably not going to go back to the store to return shit.
Yeah, you're going to return via mail as you bought it. It's so funny that you had this experience. And towards the beginning of the show, I talked about having to walk that guy through returning my package at the post office. Now you're doing it at the Hollister. It's like, are we just employees now at these places?
I should have been paid for her hours.
This is how we find out you became the manager of Hollister.
I mean, how sad is that? I'm like, I don't even work there, but I had to walk you through how to do your job.
It's like, how did you get that job? I was just returning items and now I'm the manager. I don't know what happened.
I own the store apparently now.
That's the way to do it. I just walked into the situation. I don't know. That's good that it all got worked out though.
Yeah, but it's like, I was just so stressed out because it's like, if I go to customer service, are they even going to believe me?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
And that's what my nervousness was too when I was like calling or like chatting with them. And I was just like, hey, so you can see on my records that I have these things returned. I'm trying to return the rest. And the guy was so sweet about it too. He's like, yeah, don't worry, I got you on this. I'm like, oh, thank you.
I've had that happen too where this is going to really date this experience, but I bought a CD and get home, I'm all excited to listen to it. Open it up, there's no CD inside.
Oh no.
And I'm like, how do I explain this to the store? That I bought this and there's no album inside of it. Of course, I'd be the one to buy an empty CD case thinking there's a CD inside.
Of course. And it's one of those things of like, you can't really open it to check to see if that's even in there.
Right. My one friend was amazing at stealing CDs.
Really?
Without ever showing that he was stealing it. Like, he could stand there with the CD next to his side, never putting it in a bag, and he slips the CD out of the case into his pocket, and like, you never know that he's manipulating the CD case.
Weren't those things sealed?
Yeah. So he would cut the bottom of the seal with his fingernail, pry open it enough to get into there and pop the CD, and it would fall through the tiny space he made. And then he was able to put it back on the shelf, still sealed to the naked eye.
Wow.
I was so impressed with his ability to do that.
We condone theft here. It reminds me of one of those memes of like, I don't know if you've seen this on the internet, of like people who like complain to customer service saying like, hey, I haven't received my item yet. I want a refund or whatever. And like the customer service will just go, yeah, we need proof.
Mm-hmm.
And so people will just take a picture of like an empty hand.
Yeah.
Like, this is my item.
I don't know how much more proof I can show you except there's nothing here. Have you ever had that too where you bought something, it said it was delivered, but nothing showed up?
Yep.
So then you call and you're like, hey, it says it was delivered, but I don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're like, yeah, we'll send you another one. And then you get 2 in the mail because...
Yep. Best day ever.
It's like, well, that worked out, I guess.
So, story time for this one. It was, I think, Christmas 2017. I ordered a Michael Kors wallet. This thing was $200 and I saved up for it.
Okay.
I order it and it was delayed. Or there was something on the UPS tracking website of like, we're unable to deliver this item. It's going to get sent back to the seller or whatever. And so I contact customer service for the store and I was like, hey, my tracking is sending me this. The next day, I got my original item. 2 weeks later, I get the same item. And I'm like, what do I even do with this? And so my brother's scaring me. He's like, you know, that's theft, right? I'm like, no, they sent it to me. And they're like, but they have a record of it. So they're going to be like coming after you. I'm like, I don't even want to risk it. So I returned it, got my original money back. I basically got the wallet for free.
Oh, there you go.
Because I had to. So it's like...
You went from one fraud to the other fraud.
I theft for money.
That happened to my one guitarist back in an old band where he ordered a new guitar head and that it showed delivered. And he's like, yeah, maybe someone stole it because it was on my porch. So he called them. They sent out a new one. He gets the new one. And then like a couple of days later, the neighbor is like, hey, this was on your porch and I grabbed it because I didn't want anyone to steal it. And it was the other guitar head. So he had 2 guitar heads, which were thousands of dollars. And he got one for free. This actually just happened to us.
What do you mean?
The Blink-182 stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, technically, that was on me.
Why?
So we got tickets for Blink 182, VIP tickets.
Yes.
For Blink 182.
The lowest of the VIP, by the way. Like, not.
We're not rich. We just splurged.
There was like 4 levels. We were level 4.
Yeah. But with that came a special merch item, specifically just for VIP ticket holders. But when we got to the concert, they didn't have it because of production issues.
Yeah.
So they were like, here's this Google form. Just fill this out. And when it's available, we'll send it to you.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I filled it out, I was doing it so quickly because we were trying to get to our seats.
That and there was bad reception.
That too. But then I was like, did I forget to put my zip code in? And so I was like, oh no, I'll do it again. And even that didn't go through, which was fine. So that night when I got home, I actually filled it out, made sure everything was there, and sent it. And it took 4 months for us to even get this.
It was a long time.
We recently just got this, November.
I at that point, I just accepted that we were never going to get this because it was just so long.
But we finally got it.
If anyone knows Blink-182, it's the bunny that they use as the old logo bunny.
Yeah.
And it's the plushie of that in a nurse's outfit.
So we got 2 of those. And the next day or the 2 days later, I got another one.
Because you sent me a text, you're like, guess what just showed up? And then you sent me a picture with now 4.
4 buddies. And I was like, geez, how much quality control I guess quality control did they do when they were sending these out?
I was so hoping for 2 more days later to go by and just another
2
set
more
of
buddies. They're actually multiplying.
Oh, we just have too many. We don't know what to do with them now. Yeah, so now we have 4 bunnies total, 2 each.
We could do a giveaway.
I thought about that. I want one, obviously, for myself. But then the second one, I'm like, this could go to someone. I just don't know who. It's always great when stuff like that works out.
Oh, yeah.
But in other news, aside from technically mail fraud, I don't know what that would fall under. You are addicted.
I am.
Like a few episodes back, we talked about how you bought Stardew Valley. How many hours have you put into this game so far, Kenise?
I don't know. I haven't checked. I need to check.
It is to the point where I think I'm maybe 20 hours into the game.
I'm probably 40 something.
I'm only halfway through summer. You are almost through winter of year 1.
I recently got to halfway through winter.
Every single time I'm talking to you, you're like, oh, I got this and I got this and I got, and I went and did this and I did this. I'm like, how much are you playing of this game?
I only play an hour a day.
It's like your nighttime thing now.
Pretty much.
Remember when you were productive with reading a book?
Remember when you were productive? No, I don't.
Remember your whole reading a book thing that you were doing?
Hey, I did read books.
You did up until you bought this game.
Yeah, that's your fault. I blame you. No, the thing is, I have a list of books I want to read. I just don't want to pay for it. Because I'm going to read it once and then not read it again. So why spend money on it?
You could build a little library.
Yeah, I don't want to wait a year. These are all very popular books that, no library has.
No, you can build a library. Your own library.
Yeah, but with books I'll never read again.
That's the one thing I don't get is when you see these movies with people with these extravagant library of books in their place. It's like, how often are you picking up one of these? Is it a once every 10 years thing? You're like, oh, I need to read this book again.
Yeah, I mean, I get educational stuff or encyclopedias or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But books that are one-offs or a story, fiction or whatever of I already read this book. I know what happens. I'm never going to read it again.
You also have a great ability to read through a 400-page book in 2 days.
Yeah, I'm a fast reader.
You are. I'm impressed every single time.
Which is funny because in elementary school, I was a very slow reader.
So was I.
To the point where I had to go to the special class to learn how to read.
Aww.
At a reasonable pace for kids my age.
Yeah.
And now look at me. Fuck you, teachers.
Look where I made it somewhere.
Look where I am now. You didn't believe in me.
That same 400-page book would take me, a year and a half to get through.
Really?
If I was really trying, yes.
Oh, wow.
I don't have the attention span to get through a book.
That's true. You have ADHD.
Well, unverified, but we're pretty sure.
I see it.
Which I have a story of that. But first, I'll do this thing where I read a paragraph, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to actually read the words. My eyes were just skimming over the letters, and I wasn't.
I have that sometimes.
So then I'll do it again. Oh, I didn't pay attention that time, so I'll read through it. Oh, I zoned out halfway through. It takes me like 3 hours just to get through one paragraph sometimes.
Aww.
And by the time I successfully get through a paragraph, I forget what the whole story's about at this point because I was so focused on this one damn paragraph.
I mean, I have that too of like, I'll start reading through a book and like forget that I'm actually reading it and like go back to it. I'm like, oh, I was supposed to be actually reading this and not just looking at words.
You reach the bottom of the page and you're like, oh, did I read anything that I just looked over?
Which is actually really funny because like, you know how like in high school we were assigned books to read?
Oh, yeah.
I never read through a single one.
Nope.
All my exams, Spark Notes.
Oh, you were the Spark Notes generation.
I was a Sparks Note generation, yes.
I didn't do that either. I didn't read them. We would have like read the book and then we'd have a discussion in class. And I just passed the test based on the discussions in class and never reading the book.
But it's funny because like the books that I actually do want to read, I'm really good at reading at them.
You are.
But now it just makes me think of like, if I actually applied myself and just read the books that I was assigned, but this time I want to actually read them, will I be able to get through it?
There you go. Make that your challenge for 2025.
There you go. Yeah.
You'll even show me like a meme or something that's just a lot of words.
You take years to read through it.
It takes so long to analyze everything I'm reading. And
I'm always asking, like, can I scroll down? Can I move? Can I just close this?
It got to the point where you're just like, just swipe when you're ready.
Yep. I've learned to like not even ask at this point.
But speaking of my ADHD too, it came to full fruition last night. Like I was gonna go to bed, but I'm gonna do one more day in Stardew. And I had all these things I had to do. As I'm going, I'm like, oh, I gotta do this. And then I went to do all those things, came back, I'm like, oh, I gotta do that thing. Went to go do that thing. Literally running in circles for about 15 minutes for the whole day to end. I think that's something I need to get tested for that.
I've been telling you that you need to go to the doctor for the longest time.
Everyone's been telling me that for a long time.
You just never do.
But then what do? I get medication for it to think straight.
That you need?
No, because if I do that, then I lose my personality. We lose this.
That is true. I wonder how much I'd like you if you were normal.
But on the other hand, think of how much I can get done in a day if I could focus.
That's true.
It's that balance.
Now I'm thinking of like, would we even be friends if you were normal?
If I was normal. Like even at work, I guess I kind of like let 100% of myself show personality wise.
That's a mistake.
And the one girl there was like, why when you first started here were you so calm and quiet and shy? And I was like, I can't show you that 100% side of me immediately. I had to ease you guys into it bit by bit.
Same. When I first started too, like I was the very quiet, very studious person.
Is that a word?
Studious? Yes. Yeah. It's a word.
Studious.
Look at the brown girl teaching the white person a new word. You're white. You should know English.
Oh, it is. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I know the basic words.
Do you?
Barely. I can barely get through the level 1 basics. I'm not pulling out studious in my...
But yeah, no, I was the more studious person. I was like very calm, very quiet, very friendly, but like not to the point where I'm extremely crazy. I don't know. At a certain point, I just said, fuck it. And now I'm like the loudest, most obnoxious, but I balance that out with getting my shit done. That's why no one says anything to me.
It was right after quarantine. You were all quiet prior to quarantine, and then coming back, you're just like, what's up, motherfuckers? And like,
yeah, I'm back, bitches.
It's like, what happened during this time?
Quarantine.
You're just busting out with all this energy.
It was all pent up.
Yeah. So yeah, you're now addicted to this game
I am,
that
yes.
I'm very sorry about.
Yeah, I blame you.
It is kind of my fault.
This not kind of. This is 100% your fault.
To the point where like you'll tell me you unlock something, I'm like, how did you get that so quickly already? Like
I don't know why, like how or why I have so much speed
I am speed.
with things. I am speed. I don't do speed.
Did we talk about that where the other day I learned that cocaine and crack cocaine are two different things?
I can't remember.
I always thought those two were the same.
Oh, I did too.
I don't know why. I guess it just, in movies and stuff, it just always feels like the same thing they're talking about.
Drugs were drugs in movies. Like there was no distinction between the species of drugs that were being used.
Species. What species is this one? So yeah, apparently they're two different things. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So then now with speed, I'm like, but what is that? Is that cocaine or is that not cocaine? Is that something
Is
different?
it? Let's look it up. What is speed? Let's do incognito for this one.
Do you need to put like drug? What is the drug? Speed?
What is speed? Drugs. Amphetamines.
On this episode, we learn about drugs.
Did you have to do that as a high schooler?
What? Drugs?
Like in health class, learn about different types of drugs?
No.
Really?
I grew up in middle of farmland. Nowhere.
You grew up in the middle of bumfuck Pennsylvania.
Our health class was, we didn't even have health. We had one health class, not even for a whole like quarter or anything, just like one class that was men have penises, women have vaginas. This is how the reproduction stuff works. And that was our health class.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Because we had an entire, I think it was one semester of health and one semester of PE, and that was our health and PE year.
Phys ed.
Phys ed, yes. And so the first half of PE was just like normal shit you do in PE, like the mile run and like the fitness gram pacer test, which I did not
Just
apply
pointed
myself
the
at all.
completely wrong area.
I did not apply myself at all.
No, I never took that seriously either.
Oh, I just did one? Okay, good, I'm done.
I'm in last place? Okay.
Okay, cool. But the second part of like that was health. So like learning all like the reproductive stuff, but also learning about drugs and alcohol abuse, like relationships and like different things of like a societal health courses, I guess.
It sounds like you guys are very well taught. This is why you're pulling out words like studious.
I would love to see you in a high school setting here.
How you doing, fellow kids?
But I remember back then, it was, I think, 9th grade health of like, they're teaching us these different types of drugs. And it was all animated. So it's like, oh, let's see what amphetamines do to you. And so you'd like drag it to the little person and they'd like animate of like how people would act if they were on amphetamines. And it's like, okay, let's try meth. Let's see what this does to a person.
Wow, this looks awesome. I need to go buy some.
Whoa.
This is what you see?
This is what happens to you. Now you can just go to downtown Seattle.
I know. Just get off at the train at, what is it, 3rd and Pike?
Just one person like just folded in half. 3rd and Pike.
That's where you get your drugs.
That's drug central right there, yes.
Anyone visiting Washington, 3rd and Pike.
Avoid.
Okay, now that you're bringing this up, I vaguely remember in elementary school, not even high school, doing like the DARE programs.
See, we didn't have that.
I think it was gone by the time you would have hit that point.
In middle school, all I remember was like, I can't remember if it was the fire department or the police department who would like come in, give us these goggles of like, this is what happens when you're under the influence of alcohol, and this is what happens when you're under the influence of marijuana. You
already can't walk. I cannot imagine you wearing these goggles. And
Fuck you. Fuck you. I know where my feet are.
Do you?
Yeah, they're down there.
We'll be walking somewhere and then you're just crashing into me. Walking. I'm like, why are you drifting to the left and walk straight?
Drifting.
You're listing to the left.
I'm listing. Am I a boat now?
You're a boat.
Bitch, fuck you.
So how did you do wearing the goggles?
I think I did well, because, like, in my head, all I know is, like, okay, I can't see shit, or, like, I can't see straight, but I know where my feet are. And so I would just, like, match my heel to my toe, and then, like, I knew what I needed to do to walk in a straight line.
There you go. That's one way to beat a sobriety test. Just know where your feet are.
Exactly.
So we had the dare thing, and, like, I remember them kind of briefly talking about drugs, and, like, don't do it. But that's about all we had.
So what was dare? Because I think we're in the same generation, but, like, we have two entirely different school experiences.
Yeah, it was the drug abuse resistance education,
Okay.
which is what that stood for. And it's literally just like a campaign to teach kids of how bad drugs are, but it actually ended up doing the opposite of that. And like
Drugs are fun.
just teaching kids what drugs are. And they're like, oh, we want to try that. That sounds interesting. So that got like shut down pretty quickly. I remember being a little kid reading a book. Like we were forced to read this book about drugs. And it was like, I want to say it was this bear that like borrowed a hat from another bear. And when he put the hat on, he felt really good. And he couldn't understand why. And here it was, the hat had like a patch of drugs inside. And so when he put it on his head, it was going into his head. And like he was getting high on it.
How old were you for this?
This was young, like maybe 8 or 9.
Jeez.
And I was like, oh, I can't borrow hats from people now. And then like now that I'm older, I'm like, that's not even fucking how drugs work. If they had a thing where you just touch it to your skin and you're like, good, this would be a whole different ballgame.
Well, actually, I mean, I guess some of it worked because now like drug use is down than it was when we were in school.
I saw this study too that like alpha and Zoomers are doing less marijuana and drugs and stuff because they're looking at like the older generations now. They're like, that isn't cool. Why are people doing that? Like, that's lame.
Yeah.
So that's why like it's cutting down now.
See, I guess that's all you had to do is just show of like, you don't want to be like your older generation. You don't want to be like your parents. Stop this.
That's just stop it. Same with like our generation with cigarettes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we saw the older generation doing it and we're like, that's lame for the most part.
Yeah, but then we also moved to vaping.
Yeah. Yeah, we transformed the problem into something more fun and cool.
Wouldn't you love to have puff a cotton candy puff of smoke at 7:30 in the morning?
I will admit, this morning I got inside with the dog, and as I was walking up the stairwell, I smelled bubblegum, which I think was a vape, and like, that smells pretty good. It's like that original bubblegum smell, like.
But it also smells so dank too.
No, this one it was like straight bubblegum. I like that.
time to take up vaping.
I just show up on the podcast of vaping. Is like, why did you do that? Because it smells good.
Because it's good for you.
It's good. At that point, it's just buying the Glade insert wall things to just let the smell out.
I hated those things. They just always smell so like fake.
Chemically.
Yeah.
Here's apples, but if they were all chemicals, and that's it. But we're wrapping up on the show already. Jeez, it's already been close. There's a huge thing that's been going on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I sent this to you, and I didn't say anything because I wanted to get your thoughts on it, too.
Yeah, and it's something I haven't even heard about up until you sent the link. And then I wake up this morning to now a bunch of people making videos about it out of nowhere.
Okay.
So, Honey, that great add-on extension for your browser.
It's called PayPal Honey now.
PayPal Honey.
Because PayPal bought it.
Yeah. Do you know how much they bought it for?
It's like $40-some million or something like that.
No, 4 billion with a B.
See, I knew it was a lot of money.
It just blows my mind that it's like, you don't even need to make a good product. You need to make a product good enough to then sell it to someone bigger than you for more money.
That's what Instagram did.
MySpace.
To who?
I forget who. I think Yahoo bought it.
See, I was going to say Yahoo.
Yeah, MySpace just blew up, and then it's like, you can buy us for like $30 million. Yahoo's like, cool. And then that guy became a millionaire just by making a website.
Damn it, Tom.
You sold us out.
Bitch. But no, Vine did that too with Twitter. And then what Twitter did was just killed it.
Yeah, that's just what it is now. Make an app good enough to make bigger companies think it's a good idea. And then you make millions and then you move on with your life.
We should do that.
Same with Notch, who made Minecraft.
Oh, really?
And then he sold it to EA? Whoever owns it now. For like billions.
Jeez.
So it's like you never had to make a game in your life again.
Yeah, really.
So anyways, before we go off on tangents about this, I need to get your thoughts. Did you ever have or ever use Honey?
I did. I still have it. I just haven't logged in for the longest time. I have it on my browser right now.
Knees.
What? I got it when it was, 2016? 2015? Only because I thought, I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. Let's get free shit, free coupons, whatever.
And that's when I used it too, about that time when it first came out.
And then recently, it hasn't been giving me anything. So I go on like sites like Retail Me Not that actually have working coupons.
I forgot about that site actually.
Yeah. But it's like you had one job and you're not even delivering. So why am I even using it?
Exactly. We're still not getting to the point. Here's the point. Honey it's multi-layered what this is.
Yes. Yeah.
So one, if you're a content creator and you're saying, hey, here's this product that we're selling in our link, click on it. If you buy it, we get a kickback of money for that.
And you get commission off it.
Yeah. So there's that one layer. What was happening is if you went in, clicked on that affiliated link, went to checkout, and then at checkout is like, oh, Honey, you can run Honey to check for additional coupons to add on top of this. When you clicked on the link, it was then replacing the affiliated cookie with PayPal's cookie.
Yeah.
So then the creator was no longer getting money and PayPal was stealing that commission from the creator.
Yep.
Second part to this was it wasn't an affiliated link. If you use the Honey app, it would click in PayPal's tracker onto it. And therefore they're getting a commission even though they did nothing to it.
Right.
They're just adding the commission to the purchase you're buying. So whenever you click on the button, it's like, oh, we didn't find any coupons. Sorry. The tracker is still getting added to your checkout.
Yes. Yep. Without even delivering, because now it's like you don't even get any coupons.
Yeah. So they literally just need to have an app that does nothing. And they're getting money off of it.
Yep.
And I want to check this real quick to see which video you put up.
I think it's my Penguin Zero. Did you watch it by Megalag?
Yeah. Just to give credit where credit due. Megalag, YouTuber. He's the one who exposed this entire thing. So yeah, and then he did these tests where he bought NordVPN. Yes.
Using his own affiliate link when he created it. For just solely for this test.
Yep.
He bought it twice. One using, was it like using the VPN from the US versus him? Like where he's in?
No. So he bought one with his affiliated link with not clicking on the Honey button.
Oh, okay.
And then he bought it a second time using his affiliated link, but clicking the Honey button before checkout.
Yeah.
So on the main one where he just didn't click the button, he got $35 back, which is a good kickback.
Yeah.
On the one with the Honey button, he got $0 back.
He got 89 cents back.
No. He got 89 credits.
89 cents in credits back.
Well, it's like 89 credits equals 89 cents.
Yes. Yeah.
So Honey has this like new coin thing that like you're building credits of coins to then get discounts on stuff.
It's kind of like a rewards thing, which is so dumb.
So it's one of those things that if you have Honey, probably don't use it anymore.
I can't even remember the last time I've used it.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I stopped using it back in the day. It just became like not useful pretty quickly. So I'm like,
yeah, not at all. Like it's either the store itself would just advertise their own coupons, or like I said before, I would just go on different other retail sites and finding other trustworthier sites to give me those coupon codes.
Oh, and that's the other big thing. That Honey was also, they get to select which coupons get into their system and database.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're scraping the internet for coupons.
No.
They're hand selecting which ones get added.
Yeah.
So that's why things just show up as nothing, because they're like, yeah, we don't have anything for that.
We don't want to add it. Yeah.
Which is complete bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
The biggest thing about this is it just goes back to that whole thing that we've been taught all of our lives, but yet people still keep falling for. If it's free, there's a catch. There's always a catch.
There's always a catch. Yeah.
The only exception to that rule is open source.
Yes.
If it's an open source program, you're good. If it's free, you are the product. You're the way they're making money if it's free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anytime you buy a mobile app, or not buy, you download a mobile app, a game that's free, there's some way you're making them money, whether you realize it or not. That's through ads, that's through something in the background that's somehow generating the money.
Or it's in-app purchases.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't get how we're still in 2024 and people don't realize that. Like, oh, here's this free thing to save me money. No, something is happening in the background.
No. I wonder how big of a lawsuit this will be now.
I don't think it could be. I truly think that everything they're doing is just within the bounds of legality. Like there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, it's something we'd have to look in their terms of service for now too.
But the terms of service just says we're not going to sell your data. So everyone sees that and they're like, oh, cool. A cool company that's not going to sell our data.
Yeah, but that's not the entire thing. Have you read the entire terms of service?
No.
Exactly. So how's to say that their terms of service say that we're allowed to do this?
But then again, they don't have to specifically tell you that that's what they're doing.
They can just word it in a way where it's like, we're allowed to do this, but you're not going to know because no one reads the terms of service.
No. And it's like Linus Tech Tips.
He knew about it.
Later, after years of working with them.
But way before this.
Way before this. And it's like, why did you not expose them?
Exactly.
Which makes them now feel like a shittier company.
Later on, their group was like, oh yeah, we knew about this. Or there was something shady going on with Honey, so that's why we stopped working with them. But here is another company that we're working for that basically does the same thing. But they're doing the same thing.
Wow. How are these bigger YouTube channels just going down the drain so fast?
It's because all their schemes and all their whole sellout thing is coming to light.
I guess.
And that's why they're going down the drain, because it's like if no one knew about it, they would still be successful.
It's coming to the point where they're like, you just can't trust literally anything on the internet anymore.
Especially sponsorships. That's why it's like, when you're sponsoring something, but then you're like making it sound like you're using the product. It's like, you're not. I know you're not.
Yeah, this is my favorite game. I love to play this character and destroy all these people. It's like, you never even opened the game once. Anytime, what's that food one that is always sponsored?
Factor or HelloFresh.
Oh yeah, HelloFresh is like,
HelloFresh is a big one. I
really love the chicken teriyaki and I can't wait to get home and make that tonight. It's like, you're not even eating that.
You're gonna get fucking McDonald's tonight. We know that.
That's why I've always said if we ever get to the point of getting sponsors, it's
gonna be very selective of what we do, what we sponsor.
A fine toothbrush, and then we have to go through each one.
Yeah.
And there's times when I get people who just genuinely do it thinking it's for a good thing. And then they don't really realize what's happening. And that's understandable.
Right.
I just think it's shitty that Linus Tech Tips knew about this and they never called it out.
I didn't say shit.
It had to take some other guy to expose it to really bring it to light.
Yeah. I mean, just because Linus Tech Tips was my go-to.
Yeah.
For a lot.
Everyone's. MKHB was your go-to for all the text, the new tech stuff coming out. And yeah. And then he's becoming shittier with his stuff. We're trustworthy.
I was trying to find a way to run it back to us. You can trust us.
We're good.
We will call it like it is.
Yeah. Hey, Paul, those new boots you got, I'm liking them. Just bringing it back to you guys.
Why are you going for the guys? Do you have a thing or something?
This is the first name that popped into my head. It's hard to just think of a normal name.
Why are you doxing people?
Sorry, Paul. And Bill and Alexis.
Apologize to Bill, too, because apparently he's offended now.
It'd be great if one day there is a Bill or Alexis listening to this and whoa, how do they know?
Shout out.
They know us. But yeah, Honey sucks. Uninstall it.
You and I both know we're not going to, even though it's on our browsers.
No, it's not on mine anymore.
Wow, responsible.
It hasn't been on mine since, what did you say, 2014 or something?
Okay, let's do this online right now.
Oh, you're going to do it right now?
I'm going to do it right now.
Oh.
Report abuse and remove.
Wow.
Gone.
I didn't know you could report apps.
I just did.
I didn't know that was
Fuck
a
you.
thing.
Bye-bye. Oh, help us improve. Why did you uninstall, honey? Check all that apply. Privacy concerns, no savings. I use other cashback sites. It slows down my computer. And
Do they have one to type it in?
yes, I just said fuck you.
No. You got to put like, I'm not going to support an extension that rips off creators.
Ooh, wait. You have to walk me through this. 1 second. Go.
You got to move your microphone. I'm not going to support an extension that steals from the creators that they paid to advertise them.
Can I say fuck you too?
Sure.
I said fuck you.
Okay.
And submit.
Yay. But we need to get going. We're over time.
Yeah.
So, if you like that episode, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Go follow our YouTubes, our TikToks, and our Instagrams at Intersint Pod.
What the fuck?
We'll see you next week.
Bye. Okay, actually, what the fuck?